In this video, I'll be reviewing the 17 by 17 gel double super long name on Amazon generic cushion as a cushion for use on the Aeron chair. I'm going to be specifically demonstrating this on the Aeron C Classic, which has the same dimensions of the seat as the remastered, but I will also be providing some insights into how this would fit on the Aeron B and the Aeron A. So throughout this video, I'm going to be reviewing this cushion when it comes to quality, comfort, fit, look, and whether it makes any noise, which surprisingly is an issue for some of these cushions. And I think overall, if you want to cut to the chase, this was not the cushion I ended up choosing for myself. So I had 9 different cushions I was checking out. You'll find links to some of those other reviews in my description. And this was not the one I kept. I think at a very high level, this thing earned a C+ in my book on the Aeron C, and a C+ on the Aeron B, and a C on the Aeron A, because the sizing was just a little bit worse on the Aeron A. So you can keep watching this video for a lot more detail on how I thought this cushion performed. The gel double fits the Aeron C pretty well. It's about 3 1/4 inch too short, so that's a little bit of a miss. Pretty perfect in the front in terms of width, and there's a little bit of extra in the back because of the square shape. On the Aeron B, I'm simulating what it'll look like with this corner. So you can see it's still going to be a little bit short, about 1 3/4. The width is going to look, I think, even better tucked in here than on the C. So pretty good fit on the B. I'm going to give it a B+. So on the A, I'm simulating on this corner again, it's going to be definitely a bit too wide, and that's going to cause it to curve up on the side. The front's going to look really good. It's only going to be short about a 1/2 inch based on my estimation. So overall on the A, I'm going to give this a C+ for fit because I am worried about the width. So the look of the gel double, I think for me, I really hated the loose case. So highly subjective, but for me, just looking at the way the case is, I immediately knew I wasn't going to want to keep this cushion. But that's, just me being picky. You may not care about it. I think otherwise the tone of the black is really nice. The finish is fine. The size looks fine. But for me, I have to say that the look gets a D+, just mainly because of the loose cover. I do think it also has that kind of square peg round hole thing going on because it has such hard corners and the Aeron chair is so rounded. So depending on what chair you're using, that may or may not be an issue for you, but the look for me on this one was really not great, D+. So when you look at the quality of the gel double, you can see right away it leaves much to be desired. I think first and foremost, this case is 2 inches too big in most directions, which is just totally unacceptable. It makes it super wrinkly and ugly. There's visible loose stitching. I think you can probably see that there. On the exterior of this item already, even though I've only been handling it here a little bit. And the zipper is pretty weak. It's catching on that loose stitching. So it's a pretty flimsy case. It's, I think, the worst case out of all of the ones I tried because of all of this loose stitching. The finish, there's even like extra fabric. I mean, this is just like such shoddy workmanship. The stitches, they're even going in just random directions here. So the actual cell membrane stuff I think is okay. It's pretty thick. It's definitely thicker than the Tomite, thicker than the top layer of the purple double. And it looks fine. It has the usual imperfections. So I don't really have concerns about the gel itself, but the case is just so bad. I'm going to give this one a C- for quality. So let's see how the gel double feels. So it feels all right. I think the first thing I noticed when I sat on this cushion was you can really kind of feel the cells collapsing. So you feel these little cells kind of flopping on the left or flopping on the right, which I don't think necessarily is a problem, but something I noticed. I think that the firmness here is a little softer than the honeycomb model I tried. It's pretty similar to the Tomite, I would say, in terms of the softness, but it is a little thicker. So that's a consideration. I think that really what holds back the comfort for me is this is even narrower than the honeycomb. It's only 17 inches wide. So in the back, it feels a little close for comfort, even for me. And in the front, you know, if you wanted to sit straddle, you're definitely going to be, about half your leg is going to be on the cushion and the other half is going to be on the metal. So, you know, that's a real issue. And when I did sit on this cushion for an extended period of time, you know, after about a half hour or an hour, I did start really feeling this front edge. So even though it's a little softer than the honeycomb cushion, the front edge eventually did start hurting my thighs a little bit. And I was feeling like, okay, I'm ready for a change. I want to be using a different cushion. And that ultimately, you know, was a consideration for how I evaluate on comfort. Looking at my notes over there, I scored this one a C- for comfort. So not the best for me. Let's see if the gel double makes any noise when you sit on it. Okay, so it's really minor, but I'm not even sure the mic is going to pick this up, but I do hear a real subtle squeak kind of gripping sound. So it's not dead silent, but it's nothing that's going to embarrass you. So overall, it's not perfect. I'm going to give it an A-. So before I close out, just a reminder, you'll find links in the description to learn more about the products featured in this video. If you do end up following one of those links and make a purchase, it's a really nice way to show your support. Helps out content creators like me. We make a small commission on those purchases. So very much appreciate if you do end up using those links. And with that, let's finish out the video. So overall, I give the 17 by 17 gel double blah 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 a C+ on the Aeron C, a C+ on the Aeron B, and a C on the Aeron A. Fit was acceptable. I thought the look was pretty horrible. Comfort was not that great. Quality was not that great, and it does make a tiny bit of noise. I think you can do better. I think if you're looking for a cushion kind of like this and you want something that's cheaper, I can recommend the Tomite seat cushion. If you want something that's extra high quality, maybe a little thicker like this one, I think the purple Simply cushion is a better bet. So you'll find links to the reviews of those cushions down in the description. But overall, I can say this would not be my recommendation on an Aeron chair, and probably any chair for that matter.